Hi, I'm Jarrad Brown, Australian expat financial planner based here in Singapore. Thank you for tuning into my video today. In these videos, we try and tackle some of the tough personal finance questions and topics for Australians all over the world. Today, we're going to tackle something a little bit different. Chances are you will have seen the acronym NFT floating through your social media or through the newspapers. You might have heard it around the office. So today we're going to tackle exactly what it is, what on earth it has to do with blockchain and cryptocurrency, and why you need to be paying attention. There was recently a piece of artwork sold by an artist, Beeple, for $69 million. A piece of art as part of the popular project Cryptopunks sold at Sotheby's for $11 million. And very shortly in the month of October 2021, we're going to have an auction for a few different NFT projects at Christie's auction house. There is real money moving through this space now. We need to be paying attention. Now, importantly today, this video is not going to be recommendations to go out and buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that. We're simply going to unpack exactly what all this means, hopefully give you a bit more information about what an NFT is and why we think you need to be paying attention to this space right now. So let's dive right in. So let's start with what is an NFT. First and foremost, NFT stands for non-fungible token. Now, non-fungible means that it can't be copied. There is one original, it is certified, there is a unique identification code, and that is tied to that original piece of artwork. Now, it then relates to the blockchain ledger, but we'll get into that part shortly. Now, the token part of NFT simply relates to the ownership of that digital asset. The person who holds the token owns the digital asset. Now, most NFTs at the moment are different pieces of artwork. There are also a few different games where you can buy characters. There's a common one at the moment called Z-Run, which is literally digital horse racing. You can go out and spend thousands of dollars on buying a digital horse that can race on your computer in the sky with players all over the world. To be clear, that is not a recommendation you go out and do that, but just to give you some insight into exactly what is happening in this space. To make it a bit simpler, if you've got children, chances are they played Fortnite, Farmville, whatever it may be. Just think of the last time they asked to borrow your credit card to buy some Fortnite skins or to buy some sheep on Farmville. There is real money being transacted every single day, and kids, this is really all anyone under the age of 12 has really grown up with. They understand digital ownership of assets, they understand spending money on typically their parents' credit card to buy these digital assets. And this is not going to go away. We will certainly see the projects change, we will see the space develop, but this digital ownership of an asset is important. Now, when we think about the artwork, there's a couple of things to be very mindful of. The first one is the NFT or the digital asset world is not terribly different to the physical world. The price of these goods is based on supply and demand. The more rare, the more demand, the higher the price. It's relatively simple. Now, there have also been some arguments to say, well, if it's just artwork on a computer screen, couldn't I just print out a copy of that and say that I own it too? And the answer is sure, but only in the same way that you could walk around the bay in Singapore, take a photo of Marina Bay Sands, and say that you now own that building. Naturally, there is one owner, again, certified by that unique code. So hopefully that gives you some insight into what an NFT is. Let's move on to what on earth it has to do with the blockchain. What does an NFT have to do with the blockchain? Now, let's just look at the blockchain as something very simple. It is really just a digital ledger. Now, think of the last time you transferred your friends or a family member some money from your bank account to their bank account. You send $20, your friend sees that money appear in their bank account. But for most banks, they're not going to see where it came from. They're not going to see what happened to it from when it left their friend's account to when it arrived in theirs. So think of blockchain as the transparent ledger that shows exactly where that money left, where it went on the way, and how it arrived in that person's bank account. That ledger is created on thousands, in some cases millions of computers around the world, which is why blockchain is viewed as very safe, very transparent, because it's very difficult, although I'm sure not impossible, to manipulate and forge that data. Very difficult to naturally forge a digital asset that exists, or a ledger that exists on computers all over the world. So what does an NFT have to do with cryptocurrency? So the cryptocurrency is largely the currency, or the vehicle that is used, or the means used to buy and sell these digital assets on these digital platforms. So there are online marketplaces that you can buy and sell these assets. One of the common ones is OpenSea. That's OpenSEA. You can check out. I believe the website is OpenSea.io. And you then use typically Ethereum or another cryptocurrency to actually trade in and out of those assets. You can see exactly what they were created for, who might have bought and sold them, what offers exist, and all of this information is coming through in real time. Now that's a very important element of the NFT world. It really is that smart contract. We'll get into that a little bit later, but that's really some of the key value that we believe exists in this space. So if you haven't bought cryptocurrency before, again, this is not a recommendation to get started, but to do so, you really need three things. You need a cryptocurrency trading account or investing account, like a Coinbase, for example. You then need a digital wallet, like a MetaMask, for example. That allows you to then transact on these online platforms. If you're interested in this space, I'd certainly suggest go through these exercises, watch some other tutorials on YouTube, how to set up the account, how to get started, because it really is a fascinating space. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight into what an NFT is, how it relates to the blockchain, what on earth it has to do with cryptocurrency. But let me share with you why we think this is quite an important space, and why we think this is going to play a very important role as the world develops, as the current younger generation starts to move through university, the workforce, etc., and that new generation of wealth is really upon us. One of the critical parts that we think is incredibly important here is the smart contract technology that exists. That smart contract technology allows you to create an asset, to fractionalize that asset, to give exposure to people simply based on whatever is written in that contract. Now, if that sounds complicated, let me give you a simple example. Let's just say that you're the next, or you think you're the next up and coming rock star, you're starting a band, you want to raise a bit of money to really get started. Now, instead of going to your parents, your family and friends and asking for some cash, what you could instead do is create a smart contract and create an NFT, a non-fungible token, based on that smart contract. Now that could give your investors, your supporters, let's just say a 1% share of your IP. They might buy that 1% share at $10, $100, something relatively low. You're just starting out. They don't know just how good you're going to be yet, so you're going to need to price that accordingly. Now, what if you do become uber successful? The plan works, you are the next rock star, you're the next hit band, the next Beatles of the future, for example. Every time your music is played, that person who supported you all those years ago still owns that smart contract. They're getting money every time your music is played. That royalty lasts forever. The rights to that royalty based on that smart contract last forever. Now, naturally, if they paid $100 for that, they might be generating a lot more money in future every time your music is played. It opens up a world of possibilities for people looking to raise money. We could think about this in terms of authors looking to raise money, in terms of companies looking to raise money from their supporters without needing to go to shareholders. It could even come down to fractionalized ownership of HDB houses in Singapore. There's a world of possibilities here, Again, this is not a recommendation to go out and buy cryptocurrency. It is a recommendation to pay attention to what is going on in this space. We think there's huge potential here in future. Again, as I said, do your own homework here. Stay tuned for what's to come. Certainly happy to have conversations about this space offline. But if you have anything to add, drop a note in the comments. Remember to subscribe. We'll have plenty more helpful content for you. Really appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you next time.